aka Antonio Brown, stood down, apologized publicly, and made it all good. Shout out to both of those brothers for fixing it. But big ups to Ryan Clark for saying, hey man, I don't need this job. I put these paws on you, man. I had to give it up to him, man. You know, he could have played ESPN analyst and hey man, you know, we can't talk about this, we can't talk about that. You know, I ain't with that, man. But hey, he took it straight to the streets, just like your boy HRap would have done, and I got to give him more applause for that because if you call somebody out, you better be ready to put the paw on. If you threaten HRap, you better be ready to fight every time I see you. That's all I'm saying. On a somber note, partially, he's a kicker, so what? And partially, dang, that's messed up. Uh, my man Jamal Charles has officially hung up his helmet, his cleats, and said, sayonara, man. He's gonna retire. Along with that, Sebastian Janikowski, he's retiring too. They nicknamed Seabass. He's a kicker. What is he really retiring from? Running off and on the field. He never did it. He's not gonna dress up in football clothes anymore. But Charles is out of here. Big ups to Charles. Because kickers are not football players. I repeat, kickers are not football players. With that being said, speaking of a non-football player, my man Big L is in the building. What's up, Big L? You motherfucker. On an even more somber note, a real football player may be calling the quits due to too much damage on his body. He goes by the name of Doug Baldwin. Ironically, can you retire when they pay Russell Wilson now? Again, he's struck with the plague of brothers not having anybody to throw it to. Conspiracy? Maybe. But he did get DK Metcalf. Dude got good blood in him. He got I think all of a sudden I can't think of his grandfather's name, but he got his uncle Eric, and let's hope Terry is his grandfather, Eric is his father, uncle. Hopefully he got some of that blood in him. He gonna be killing the game. Hopefully, Doug Baldwin. Sorry to see you go, but DK Metcalf is in the building. Hopefully you can figure it out, Doug. I hope not, man. Football player. Let's see. And on an even more somber note, the rich people in America continue to attempt to manipulate the court system. Yes, I said it, the rich people. Who are the rich people? The owners of the NBA. And some of those guys are the owners of NFL teams. Who's the guy I'm speaking of? Mr. Kraft. The kitty rapist. Now, let's be honest. No grown woman wants to sleep with Robert Kraft for $40. Come on. But he continues to try to milk the system. It's an insult to everybody who gets up and go to work every day, everybody who has a relative in the system and not trying to get them help. The system is running people, shooting them through the grease and dipping them every chance they get. But Mr. Kraft don't want everybody to know that he run around here having sex with underage girls, which is equivalent to human trafficking. No one will say human trafficking, but guess who will? HRap, the grand verbalizer. He knows what time it is. Mr. Kraft, you were raping kids. Come on, somebody. Look, if Mark Cuban is about to step down from his position for sexual harassment, bruh, I'm going to need you to go ahead and get shook down too, bruh. Because human trafficking, no disrespect to anybody who's ever been sexually harassed. By the way, HRap has been sexually harassed. Yeah, big up to your boy for being sexy as hell at work. Yeah. But that has nothing to do with sexual harassment. I did have to file a sexual harassment claim back in 1998 by one Miss J. Yeah, I'm still talking about it to try to get me fired. That's why I tricked on. But back to the point. Sexual harassment is real. No one should have to work in a what is it called? A chaotic work environment, an unsafe work environment. I do take that serious, but I did have to file it against somebody because she's your boy kind of fly. But No one should have to be, a chaotic work environment like that. So I do take that serious, Mr. Cuban. If you allowed it, then you're more of the problem than the solution. If they find cause and you having to step down and welcome you getting kicked out the league, you snake. But Mr. Kraft, stop trying to suppress evidence of you having sex with young women. This is not a good look, bro. Take your punishment like the rest of us. Like my man, I ain't gonna say his name because he out of here, but you just gotta suck it up, man. This is one of them things that even your money shouldn't be able to help you with, and if it does, I ain't gonna stop talking about it because human trafficking is wrong, bro. It's not a good look, bro. You can't take advantage of young disenfranchised people. This country was established by taking advantage of young disenfranchised people, and I'm not gonna stand for it. I'm gonna keep talking about it, and if you don't want me to talk about it, stand down, homeboy, because it ain't cool. It ain't cool. It ain't cool. I've never thought it was cool. I never will think it's cool, and nobody gonna tell me that it's cool. It's just it sucks, man. It just fucking sucks that y'all don't stand around and watch these young ladies get taken advantage of, and y'all gonna potentially try to let this dude get off and walk. I don't like it. I mean, a lot of people are, well, she from the Asian community, but hey, I'm a true believer in a lot of the things that my brother, my ancestor, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said. Oppression anywhere is a threat to peace everywhere. So if you're gonna allow these young ladies to be taken advantage of, the United States court system, kiss my ass. I'm sorry for my language, please. I'm trying to refrain from profane language, but I'm dead serious. I got a daughter, and luckily she's mentally strong enough not to be taken advantage of in that fashion. But it's a lot of people who don't have the upbringing and things like that that won't allow them to be taken advantage of, and the court system is set in place so those people won't get raped, won't be taken advantage of, won't be treated like a piece of paper and discarded. So, Mr. Kraft, if you've done this, you need to pay for it. It ain't funny, and you need to pay for it. With that being said, time to move on. Let me see. I saw a couple people speak on this in the chat room. I think I just saw somebody pop in. DJ, Lady J is in the building. If you don't hit the follow button, you're not my friend. Now, I will cover, y'all know I promote what me and my main man, the greatest label, Black Spreaker. We gonna support each other no matter what, because we are not in a position to not support anybody. So I want you to support people like the greatest, DJ Lady J, That Ninja, Ben from BS3, Mo Cheese, number one Chief Rocker Jersey Burn, and if anybody else comes in, I'm going to announce that they have a show, and I'm going to need you to support them as well. It's either good entertainment, good music, good conversation. But later on, my girly girl will be in here from New Max Radio, Trey from Barbershop will be in here, Vince Wright, Split Sports Done Right, but he part of X Squad. He's an X Squad affiliate, so keep it going, y'all. I need you guys to support the movement so we can continue to grow our brand and get you properly entertained. My man, number one Chief Rocker Jersey Vern said, "You're right about that, HRap." And somebody said, "Hi to Miss Unique." So what? They're not attempting their doing. Yeah. But as long as you keep talking about it, as long as you have breath in my lungs, I'm gonna keep talking about it. So they're not gonna be able to afford it. $40 Kraft had to hook up a brother. Hey man, that's what they said on the report. Big L, not a number. I wasn't even joking. Big L, that was a real number that was shot out there. Then dudes be sexually abusing HRap. Nah, ain't no dudes, homeboy. Ain't no, hey, I'm a main Buddha. I'm a main. Not trying to cause you worried about the FCC violation. Nah, it's just I'm worried about some people who don't like profane language. Some people don't like profane language. I'm trying to accommodate my listeners. I don't want to offend anybody under any circumstance on any day. Yeah, I don't mind cussing, but I got an aunt that ride with me once or twice, actually 4 times a month. She listens to Chief Rocker's Jersey Vern show, and she asked Chief Rocker not to use as much profanity, and Chief Rocker accommodated her. Therefore, Chief Rocker or somebody else maybe listen to my show with their aunt in the car, and therefore I'm gonna calm it down just like Chief Rocker did. Thank you, Chief Rocker, for respecting my AT. Chief Rocker in the building. Yeah, that's right. How you was yeah. See, that's where you go. Hey, Chief, you know I got you. We right here. Chicks be asking for ho-has and ding-dongs for sexual harassment. Oh, man. That's another fat joke, see? I wasn't going to call you whack-mo, Mr. Husband, but I'm on your ass now. I'm on your back now. You see that, homeboy? You see that? HRap from Indiana. Bruh, you live in Arkansas. Is that really a state? Y'all was really trying to call yourself Kansas Junior and threw an A on the front of it, man. So you gonna leave me alone about that about my state, homeboy. I ain't fooling with you today, Big L, but keep it coming, bro. Keep it coming. My man Big L, if y'all don't know, that's my boy. He one of the original antagonists for the HRap show, man. The man jumped right in, didn't give me no slack, slapped me around a couple of days. I like the dude, kinda. Or as he would say, maybe. But next up, man, this is a hyper sensitive topic. This is again a hyper sensitive topic. And what I'm going to talk about is something I've spoken about on my show over the last 3 years. I had Lynn Elmore, me and Lynn Elmore spoke on it. I had Alvin Sims, I had Deion Thomas. I've had several professional athletes, former college athletes, and others, and we've spoken about this as I interviewed them. And this is a real thing with me because I was lucky enough to have excellent upbringing, so I wasn't affected by this. My mom communicated with me. I have several aunts, several uncles. I got two sisters, an older brother. You know what I mean? I got good people on my team, so I didn't struggle with this. But as yesterday, I don't know, Kansas City police department or Kansas City, what is it called, public defender, or whatever, the people who arrest people, the goddamn police. The people, the municipality of Kansas City reopened the case on the young brother Tyreek Hill. Now, this is a dude who's had issues with domestic violence coming into the league. He allegedly hit his significant other in the stomach with a baseball bat while being pregnant with their child. Now he's being shot through the grease again in regards to potentially doing harm to said child, and they got him on video or audio threatening this woman. And a lot of people may go, "Oh man, it ain't that serious, man. It's just talk. It don't work." But as I've said in the past, this bothers me because I grew up in a chaotic community. You know what I mean? I grew up what I like to call, if you've never heard this story, I hope you have not, so I'm not just being redundant. I grew up on what I consider the tracks. You got the other side of the tracks, the good side of the tracks, and the bad side of the tracks. I grew up on the tracks. And what I mean by that is, if I walked out of my house and went left, I literally bumped into millionaires like Richard Dent, Harry Carey. It was nothing for me to see Harry Carey's at the Walgreens in my community. But if I went out and walked the same distance to my right, I walked into the Good Times Project. You may refer to that, or we call them in the city of Chicago, Cabrini Green, one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in America. And when you living in those circumstances, I'm also from the west side of Chicago, whereas it is a damn near war zone, man. I ain't gonna front. It's a dangerous community, man. Anytime you have disenfranchised people and you take away services and things like that, you get people trying to survive instead of just live. And when you remove hope from people, people do drastic things. The reason I'm bringing this up is the brother Tyreek Hill. He could potentially have him and other young men who had these domestic violence situations. We need to do something. We need to push for the NFL Players Association and the NFL at large, these universities that are recruiting these young men coming into our communities and removing these young men from these communities to get them some form of talk therapy or something of that nature. I am passionate about this, man. This is something that really needs to be done. If you at the University of Alabama, if you at the University of Clemson or Texas or one of these institutions that made $100 million off the football team, why the hell can't y'all get these young men some talk therapy so they can walk through these situations instead of always resorting to violence? See, when you grow up in these impoverished neighborhoods, what happens is you don't think you know how to do is fight. And then when you are met with a traditional family situation where you and your significant other have a disagreement, instead of communicating, you revert to what you know best, fighting. Ryan Clark spoke about it the other day. That's the reason he said he clapped back at Antonio Brown, because he reverted back to his job, which was to attack and bam, me and Ryan Clark are not violent people, but a lot of these young men don't have that kind of guidance. Ryan Clark is a person who has a spiritual base.